Welcome back to my YouTube channel. That's it. I appreciate everyone just joining in and hearing what I have to say. So welcome back to That's It. So on my last video that I posted on Friday, and I was talking about free speech, I really did not get a lot of things off my chest. I was very distracted. And on top of that, I was not feeling well, but I pushed through and did the video anyway because I had to express how I feel and concern about free speech, especially what's going on and what's actually happening in the UK in regards to Graham Linehan and how he got arrested at the London airport. 5 police officers just kind of bulldozed him and arrested him for something that he made a comment on his ex Twitter page. And it just made it seem like he was some type of pedophile or predator or he did something wrong when he just made a joke out of transgender. You know what I mean? To me, it was nothing violent, nothing that he was saying, telling other people to attack transgender, nothing to that sort. But people take a lot of things out of context, especially especially when it comes to comedians, and it's just not fair. It's like it was a joke. It's nothing serious. It's a trans dressing as a woman, and if something happens, if a trans basically like attacked a woman or whatever, then what do a woman do? You know, kick them in the balls because that's what they have, balls. And I don't see anything offensive towards that and any of that resort. And I just have to make it very clear, you know, everyone deserves rights, whether you're gay, lesbian, trans, me, you, everyone deserves rights. And I'm not saying that their rights should be taken, absolutely not. However, where I draw the line when trans men that's dressed as a woman have no place in women's sports, no place in a women's bathroom, no place at all. It should be a separate entity. And I just don't understand why we can't say that, why we can't raise awareness of that. It's not saying that we're taking their rights away because they have rights just like everyone else. And they're human beings just like everyone else. And I'm not saying that, and people are not saying that either. We're all just saying that it's common sense. You are a trans, dressed as a woman, you're still a man, but you dress as a woman and you have no business being in a woman's sports. You have no business being in a women's bathroom, women's locker room, none of that. It should be your own entity. Now, the trans community, they fought so hard for gay rights, gay marriages, every pride parade, which to me, in my opinion, is ridiculous to celebrate pride for 1 month, a whole month of June, when it should be a day. Because, the people who really deserve, honestly, a whole month is the people that survived 9/11, what happened to them at 9/11, the veterans, they should get a month. But no, they get a day. Independence Day, it's a day, not a month. So why do Pride get a whole month of June to celebrate Pride? Why it can't be a day just like every other holiday? You know what I mean? We gave you that. We gave you everything that you protest, you asked, it went to Congress, it passed a bill, we gave you all that. So why you can't fight hard to have a sport for trans? Why you can't fight hard for a different entity for the bathrooms? Why are you so eager and so persistent to be in women's sports? Why is that? Or women's prison when you actually a man? Why is that? That's something that I'm asking the question. And why is it they pushing so hard to be in women's sports, women's bathroom, when they can't even do that for their own entities, meaning that they can't, protest or write a letter to Congress or go to Congress and say, listen, we want to participate in sports, but we want our own category. We want it to be trans category. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I'm all for it. I am. And I know a lot of people are all for it too. But why not push that? You push everything else and you got what you want. So why keep pushing on inserting yourself to being in women's sports, in women's locker room, in women's bathroom? It doesn't make any sense. And then you turn it around and you gaslight people like me and other people say, oh, you are a transphobe transphobe, or you don't like trans people, or you don't want them to have rights as me and you. No, we want you to have the same rights. You deserve to have the same rights, just like me, just like everyone else. But where we draw the line, like everyone keeps saying, and the woke and the far left just keep saying, repeating the same thing. We don't want men who dress as a woman to be in women's sports. Okay, they have more upper advantage. Okay, the physic, the lung capacity, the strength, we all know it is all common sense, okay? And plus, women will lose all the time if men would be entering in women's sports. You know it, I know it, the whole world knows it. So it just wouldn't be fair. It'd be a disadvantage. So what would be the point of that? They're going into women's sports. It made no sense. Or women's bathroom. It made no sense because you do get some perverts out there that get a kick of young girls and women and attack them, saying that they're trans, but they're not really trans, but they dress up as a woman and just to have the advantage to go to a women's bathroom and attack them or assault them, God forbid. And it does tend to happen, not all the time, but it tends to happen. So when we speak about that and have free speech about that, then we get shunned, we get criticized. But then when a trans attacked a Catholic school, then that's okay. Then we can't say nothing. We can't condemn that because they're trans. I don't understand that. I don't understand the bystanders there. I really don't. And I just wanted to say that because I wanted to say so much on Friday, but again, I got a little bit distracted because I was not feeling well and I wanted to push through. But I just wanted to circle back and really say that today, you guys, that it's just not fair. No one's not taking anyone's rights, okay? Even though I may not agree of their lifestyle, but that's not for me to judge. That's not for me to judge anyone because the only one person who can judge is God. Okay, He's our Heavenly Father. He's the one judge. He's the one who will have a final say. But I'm not going to accept and call someone by their pronouns. It's a he or a she. It's not they, them, she, them, it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I have a right to call you as what God gave you, a him or a her. I don't think that it should be a law or I should be forced to call an individual person a he, them when they're actually as a he or she or a him or her. That's it. It shouldn't be any confusion of that. But however you live your life, the lifestyle that you do or make, that's your business. That's not my business. As long as it doesn't affect young kids and pushing, sex change on young kids and trying to advocate that young kids should change their identity, then that's where I draw the line. Other than that, you're grown, you're adult, you can do whatever you want to do because you made that choice, you made that decision, and good for you. And like I said, everyone deserves rights. Everyone deserves love and respect. No one should be bullied. No one should be attacked. There should be no violence, okay? Because I condemn that. However, we all should have free speech to say what we like and what we feel, whether the person likes it or not. That's the whole point of our amended rights. That's the whole point of freedom of speech. We may not like what everyone says, but it doesn't mean that that person should be arrested. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know what the UK is doing, but they're out of their mind and they're crazy for arresting this comedian for something that he said on his ex Twitter. Okay, it did not seem violent to me. It did not seem like he was telling people to attack gays, lesbians, or trans. He was not saying all that. And again, I'm going to read to you again what he said on his ex Twitter. If a trans identified male is in a female only space, he is committing a violent abuse act. He then said to those encountering such as stereos should make a scene, call the police, or punch them in the balls. So I don't understand. It's a joke, and trans men have balls, okay? Meaning that if they're attacked or there's any type of violence or any type of issue, if a woman is being attacked, what do you do to defend yourself? You're gonna punch them in the balls because they have balls. So it's not like he's saying, if you see a trans out there in the street, just get a a broken bottle and then just smash it in their head or cut them up into a million pieces. He's not saying that, okay? Again, a lot of people read certain things on the social media, they take it out of context and then they just want to just say, ooh, gotcha. He says something slanderous. He says something, against trans. So then we just going to arrest him. That's not right. And that's not how it should be. People should have the right to say or post whatever they want within reasons, obviously. You're not going to post something crazy and outrageous because if you do, then, you're going to get an FBI or the police officer knocking at your door and going to ask you some questions about that. However, with that being said, you guys, everyone should have a right to have free speech. Everyone should have a right to speak their mind freely and not be judged or criticized, okay? A lot of things I say, people don't even agree with. People crack jokes, and I keep it moving. People need to stop being so damn sensitive of things that people say and just keep it moving. Like, I just love the 90s because the 90s, you can just say whatever you want. People don't take things so seriously, literally. Like, literally, people don't take things so seriously. They just, brush it off. You know what I mean? He's a comedian. A lot of comedians makes jokes about celebrities, about trans, about gays and lesbian, and it's funny, it's laugh, and that's it. We keep it moving. Like, what happened to laughter? What happened to ha ha ha, moment? It's not that anymore. It's like all serious, and we have to watch what we say on social media, like on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, or Instagram. It shouldn't be like that. Every word that we say, it's on a freaking Wikipedia. It's in a dictionary. So I don't understand why things have to be censored. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense. It's like we need to wake up and it's like enough is enough. That we should be open and freely to speak our mind without being judged and without being afraid that, we might be arrested if we say this word or that word. Or we might be afraid if we say certain things. It's just crazy. We can't say anything about the war and Israel and Hamas, not Hamas, Israel and the Palestinian. We can't say anything. We can't criticize about the trans. We can't criticize about the shooting in regards to the trans. We can't criticize anything. We just have to watch what I say and believe what the mainstream media is saying. And they say outrageous things as well. But it's okay for them because they're getting paid. But for people like me and you and other people that have huge platforms, we can't say anything. Why is that? Why is that? This is the United States. I don't know the rules in the United Kingdom, but they need to change their laws because they should have the capability and they should have that right to speak their mind and speak their truth about anything, whether it's trans, whether it's politics, whether it's things that's happening in the world. We should all speak our mind. We should say freely what we want and not be censored. Because I'd be damned if I be censored and I can't say certain things that I want to say. How is that? That's expressing your not your emotion, but your feelings, your expression. You're expressing your creativity. You know what I mean? You're expressing how things that you process in your mind that you're going out there and social media to talk about it, to express about it, to give your opinion and your point of view. That's it. Now, everyone is different. But again, with this gentleman, Graham, I don't see he did anything wrong. I hope that, justice will serve for him, that he will just get off of this because this is just ridiculous. And I know a lot of people in the UK are outraged of his arrest. Like 5 officers, really? You make it seem like he was like an axe murderer at the airport. And he's 55 years old, okay? 55. It's just ridiculous. It's just ludicrous. And then we just need to, stop being so darn sensitive, you know what I mean? And just take a joke. Because again, what he said was not offensive. He was he was making a joke of punching a trans in the balls. I don't know. Like, what else did he say wrong? He did not say anything wrong. I'm like reading the comments over and over again, and I did not see anything offensive. I don't see anything attacking trans. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. And it's like, what's the point of having freedom of speech if you can't express your own values, your own opinions? Like, what's the point of our First Amendment rights? You know what I mean? And like I said, Friday, the British started this whole freedom of speech thing, and now you just want to take it away from your people. It makes no sense. Now you're trying to say they can't say certain things, and if they do, you're going to arrest them. Or if certain people say things in the United States, and then they come to visit your country, you're going to arrest them. That's how it's going to be now. It's ludicrous. And if that is the case, I will never set foot in the UK. Okay, I will never set foot in that because I say a lot of crazy, outrageous things because I'm expressing my feelings, not my feelings, my point of view, and I have that right. And if I walk into your country and then you probably, if you see me on my channel, am I going to get arrested because I say certain things that you may not like or you may not agree? That's fine. I don't have to come to your country. I go elsewhere that I know I will be welcome without worrying that I'm going to be arrested in your country because you didn't like what I say. It's just crazy. It's just ridiculous. So we just need to pray for the people um, the in UK or the government in UK because they're out of their freaking mind. It's just crazy that they're trying to stop free speech and trying to stop people for people to express themselves freely, and it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And I just wanted to come here and just tell you guys that because again, I had so much to say on Friday, but I just couldn't. The words just couldn't come out. First of all, second of all, I was not feeling well, but I still pushed through to do this video. But I really had to come up here and then tell you guys how I feel and my whole concern about this arrest. And again, I don't know this man from a hole on the wall, but it just been getting a lot of buzz and a lot of press. And then once I read the story about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like the UK is doing this? Like, really? This is crazy. Can you imagine if this happens in the States? This probably happened in the States, you guys, that you can't say certain things and they arrest you. They think that you're a criminal. They think that you're a terrorist. They think that, you might do something to harm people when you're just actually expressing how you feel and just having freedom of speech. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it should not be taken away to anyone at all, at all. But we have a right to crack jokes and criticize and say what we want to say without feeling that we're attacking someone because we're not. Again, stop using people's words out of context. Stop reading into something that is not there. You know what I mean? I think people are very clear what they say and what they talk about. It's like, don't make it like a black and white thing because it's not. People are clear on their words. Some. And some people are not. Some people are just like, very vague. But majority of the time, I feel like people are very precise and they know what they're saying, they know what they're talking about, and they're very clear. Some are not. For me, I'm very clear what I say. You know what I mean? There's no in between, there's no gray area. I'm very clear. And for people to use my words or other people's words and use it out of context, so, oh, she said it. No, I know what I said. And this is what I said. I did not say this. You're reading more into something that's not even there. And that's what I feel like was happening to this gentleman, Graham. He posted a comment and people are just reading it differently. For example, like the Bible. People interpreted the Bible very differently. If I read Matthew chapter 6, verse 1, I may interpret it something, what I read. Other people might interpret it something completely different because there's different versions of the Bible. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as a post. Don't interpret something there that it's not really there. Listen to what the person is saying and commenting, and then obviously have common sense and use your own judgment of what the person is saying. If you feel like it's like some type of violence, like he is saying, he's telling people to attack trans, and that's one thing. But clearly, I read the post, that's not what he's saying. He's making a joke because he's a comedian, and all it is just a joke. That is it. And people need to take a chill pill and relax, okay? And not take things so damn seriously. What we need to be focusing on are crimes out in the street instead of more focusing on people what they post. Okay, what happened at that Minneapolis shooting? Focus on that more because a trans man, okay, and I said man, attacked innocent children. Okay, even though he transitioned as a woman, as Robin, he's still a man because he was born as a boy, he died as a man. And people say, oh, you shouldn't say that. He changed his sex to Robin. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Again, this is a perfect example. I have a right to identify the shooter as Robin Westman, not Robin Westman. I don't care if he changed his ID, whatever. This is a man, okay, who went up to a Catholic school and shoot up innocent children. Two died at the age of 8 and 10, okay, and most majority of the rest of the kids are in the hospital in critical condition. And I pray that they are doing well and they got released from the hospital and be with their families. Okay, this was a man who shoot up a school, who identified as a trans. Okay, now what he did was despicable and wrong, very wrong. And this was all planned out, meditated. He was prepared to take action and hurt innocent children for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason. Okay, this was a trans and a man. Believed that he was a woman. When at the end of the day, that's not a woman. That's a man. And I don't understand the whole debate about that. You know what I mean? And how we should identify this person as a woman. This person's not a woman. This person is a man. Point blank, period. And you can't tell me otherwise. Maybe you want to convince yourself or convince the other world or try to tell other people that this is a woman when clearly this is not a woman, a man. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And we all should have the right to have free speech, to speak our mind, to express ourselves, express our creativity, and just be open about anything and everything, and not be afraid that we might be banned, not be afraid that we're going to get shut down or arrested, especially if it's something that it's very innocent and it's not harmful to anyone and it's not hurting anyone. I don't understand that. And I feel like knowledge is power. Your speech is a powerful tool for us to express and to talk about many different things, many different awareness, and let the whole world what's going on and how we feel instead of being shut down and being criticized for the speech that we say. And that's all I'm going to say about that, you guys. I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming into my channel of That's It and listening and just participating and commenting and leaving a like or unlike. Either way, I still love you all, and I really appreciate each and one of you just taking the time to come into my channel and listening. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, and God bless.